Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast. I'm Stephen Clark with Justin Valentovic and Jesse Norman, and all three of us are here to give our honest review, reaction, and breakdown NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver both nights 1 and 2. This is Friday when we're recording this, so both nights are over with. It's in between Mania and here, so it's a nice little break for us to finally review this and give our thoughts on it. But fellas, before we get into all the wrestling and all that fun stuff, how you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Weather's nice here in New Jersey, so springtime's finally here. Baseball, Orioles got smacked on opening day, so that's fine. Only a month left of basketball season before the Wizards are going bye-bye, so I don't have to see them anymore. Stand and Deliver was really good. Its namesake, it delivered, so that was cool.
It stood and delivered.
But did it stand?
Did it stand?
I don't know. It was on Peacock, and Peacock worked at least, so that was a bonus because I just had visions of it not working, like ESPN Plus does for all the UFC fights.
Or like how the network started with WrestleMania 30 and all those bugs that they had with that too.
But I'm excited to talk about the show. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Norms, how you doing?
Pretty good. Can't complain too much. Yeah, it's nice. MLB The Show comes out in a week, so
yes, it does.
Hopefully I'll enjoy that.
Oh, yes, it does. I'm so happy
I'm ready to get destroyed by Justin because, we don't talk about our personal lives too much on here, but Justin is an avid player of MLB The Show.
I thought you said addict, and that would have been a much more appropriate one.
Last year, being in quarantine, right when it came out, no job, no school to go to. I technically had online classes, but
they don't mean anything.
Well, at the time they didn't because no one knew how to teach online who wasn't teaching online. At the end, I think I finished with like 23 days of playtime on the show.
Ooh.
And that's with bailing out in like August for Madden.
Did you convert that to hours or no?
I'll do that now.
All right, he's going to do that now. It's not that hard, 24 hours a day.
24 times 23.
Yeah.
552
like
hours.
500.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, yeah.
I play a lot.
Nice.
You're all screwed when we play.
Yeah, we're screwed. I already said it. We're screwed. But hey, new video games, new wrestling, WrestleMania.
Hey, speaking of video games, potentially some news on the next WWE sim game. They hinted at that a little bit. Yeah,
I'm scared.
It's very frightening.
I'm very scared because the last couple of years it's been Duty, and I don't want to buy another Duty game. Which I'm gonna buy it. That's the problem. I'm gonna buy it.
You bought the Goldberg edition or the collector's edition?
Oh yeah, I have like the collectibles up there of like Cena's autograph and Edge's autograph over there. I love the collectible stuff that comes with it. That's the best part. The game is trash. The collectible stuff is phenomenal, but
that's where they get you.
I think there's a good chance that it's going to be just 2K19 2.0.
As long as it's not,
they're just going to take out. They're going to fix the glitches of 2K20. They're going to
they'll break
pretty much. But they're not going to put out a new product like how everybody's hoping.
No GM
it's
mode.
Gonna
no
still
nothing.
Be it. No. It's going to be a very very similar. There's going to be no story mode. It's still all going to be universe. There's probably not going to be much added to universe. They'll probably repackage some things, but if anybody who is expecting a full tear down and build back up, they're not going to do it. 2K doesn't do that. They don't
just
tear down.
What could go wrong with it being the first build on the new consoles? Right?
Yeah, no, everybody would totally be fine if you did a tear down and had to rebuild things on a new console for the first year.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do that.
It'll be
They're just going to keep running the same one.
It's sad. It sucks because we grew up on SmackDown versus Raw games and all that, so
which were great.
Fantastic.
Those games definitely don't stand and deliver.
06 to like 09. That's a stretch.
07 was the best one.
Yeah. 07, I think, might be the best.
Even in the later years with the WWE series,
it
wasn't as good, but it was way better than 2K.
Few 2Ks were pretty good.
That's because THQ worked on them.
Yeah.
14 was so good because THQ worked on it.
Yeah, once THQ went under, so did the game.
Yep, so did the game. 110%.
Best said. But enough of that. Let's get into NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. And I want to talk about the feeling of the show, first of all. Because, over the last year, there hasn't been many fans at any wrestling shows. Because obviously you can't. There's COVID going around the air. We know this by now. Yeah, it is. Thank God.
I thought Florida
vaccines are coming out.
Florida cured it.
Like how Gronk cured his CTE.
But no, thank God vaccines are coming out and everything now in the future. So slowly everyone's going to be vaccinated that wants to be. But there's a lot of fans in the CWC, and it was awesome to see that. And the presentation with the big skull and like the live music of Poppy and the guitarist for, I forgot, Ozzy, was it Ozzy?
For Alice in Chains.
Yes.
They need to spice it up a little bit because it's been the same people. Like, they're fine, they're good. It fits the NXT shtick.
It fits the mold.
But a little variety here and there would be good. It's
what do you want, Mario Judah?
Yeah, it's good. I don't know who that is. I get called that though. It helps that in the sense that they don't do it every single takeover, so at least it's not shoved down our throats. Every 2 months. But a little variety would be appreciated.
Yeah, it just fits the mold to me. So I don't have a problem with it. It just felt nice to have live music, live people. I mean, the first night there was a lot more fake noise than the second night. The fake noise isn't needed when you got fans in the CWC there. But it was nice. It was a nice feeling, put it that way.
It felt like an underground show a little bit too. I like the under lighting for like where the fans were. It looked
especially for the last match too, the whole takeover.
And I love the digital boards around it, how like they would have the names of what they're fighting for, of like who's fighting, but also like when Kross won the belt, it would have, and like Raquel, and like when everyone won belts basically this show, it'd be like your new champion and put their logo in the middle.
Cool.
Like the presentation was awesome. And they had an actual set skull, which is
you love sets.
I'm a sucker for sets.
So am I.
So the WrestleMania one, because we see boats, which we'll talk about when we see WrestleMania 2. Yeah, we got a big boat. So
two boats. Cool. But yeah, set presentation was great. Let's get into the main card. Night 1 started off with Pete Dunne and Kushida. Great match. 2 of the greatest wrestlers in NXT currently today. As we all expected, Pete Dunne won. I have nothing else to say about this match. I don't know about anybody
They don't really
else.
know what they're doing too much with Kushida. The second you think they're going to give him a little bit of momentum, right back down the ladder he goes with a pretty, not a bad loss, because if you lose to Pete Dunne, it's not a bad loss because he's awesome. But it's like, damn, if he won, that would have gotten him over to like the next level.
Yeah. There's still plenty of time to do stuff with both these guys, so I'm not concerned. It was a good opener. I have nothing more. I don't know about you guys. I had nothing more to say about this match. It was good.
Yeah, no, I thought it was fun. I thought it was good.
It was fun. And then
did what it needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. Did what it needed to do. Open the show, nice hot start. And then we get to another pretty hot start too. We have Bronson Reed winning the Gauntlet match, which was honestly a shock. None of us predicted this. We all thought Dexter Lumis was winning this. I'm shocked that they went.
He was out first, second. He was out second, I think.
Second, because I think
Ruff and then Lumis.
Yeah,
Ruff and then Lumis.
Yeah, Ruff went out and then Lumis.
Then Drake, then Swerve, and then that's it, I think. But wow, that was a shock. I mean, I'm cool with them pushing somebody else new, but I was just shocked.
Reed's a beefy boy.
Oh, he's a thick boy, all right. But was this the right move? I don't know.
I would have preferred Lumis just because you had the story already kind of intertwined with the way, so that would have been nice to see. Bronson Reed, it's fine. Maybe him versus Lumis would have been cooler rather than Gargano, just so you can kind of put a bow on the Gargano Lumis will they won't they type of storyline. Sure.
But I think they're holding out Lumis because maybe Lumis is the one to eventually take the belt off him, but maybe just not yet is how they're kind of doing it. At least I hope, because obviously Johnny won, so
yeah,
no spoilers, I guess. Because
we can even talk about that one right now too.
But yeah, no, that's fine. I found the Johnny Bronson rematch much better than the Gauntlet.
Me too.
Much better.
That kind of happens with Gauntlets, though. Once you kind of know who's gonna win, it's just kind of like, all right, let's just get to the end.
It wasn't even that I knew who was gonna win in the Gauntlet per se. I just felt it went a little too long.
A little bit.
Especially when you consider that IO Raquel kind of felt like they didn't get enough time.
Oh yeah, it got cut short.
You definitely feel like. Yeah,
well, because
you
they
definitely
were on,
feel like you could have cut 2 to 3. They were on USA.
That's why. So they had to hit they had to hit 10 on the nose. While
I think it was and they went to like 10:04.
They went past
10:05.
Well, Peacock went to like It ended at a weird time. It was like 10:37
last night. Yeah, because it's like the network. They can stop whenever they want.
Because it was just on Peacock. Yeah,
it worked really easy on Peacock too. Because it literally was like you turn on Peacock, at least for my cable box. It was right on the main screen. I'm like,
it was the first thing.
I'm like, all right, am I gonna have to like sift through it and find it? It was like, no, it was right there. I was like, okay, this is easy.
However, I will say finding old pay-per-views and stuff on Peacock not nearly as easy as the network.
Well, is the WWE channel set up yet or no?
It's brutal.
It is.
They go by seasons instead of years.
Wait.
So you have to
isn't a year a season?
Like there's 5 seasons.
Sort of.
Yes, but then it gets weird when there's like Fastlane because there's 5 seasons of Fastlane instead of being like 2000.
Well, that's what happens when you go to a TV streaming service. That's how they think.
No, exactly.
Yep.
That'll get tweaked, I'm sure.
It's very hard to navigate.
It is. It's complicated. But back to the match. I thought it was great. Gargano is proving that he's one of the best in NXT. I don't know how long.
You think he gets another title run eventually?
Main?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. Because it's a new gimmick. It's a new gimmick. He's doing great with the mid-card title. I think there's a chance that he does get a shot at the world title again. I really do.
I think he'll get a shot. I don't think he'll win. I think he'll go.
He'll be in the hunt.
At least one more run. Yeah, at least one more kind of run for the belt. I don't know if he'll necessarily win though. I don't know if they're ever going to move him up to the main roster.
No,
though, which is also kind of fine because he just get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
easily
very lost. But no, that was great. So we don't have to talk about that night too. That's out of the way. Let's continue though. Back in night 1 in a very hard hitting match, we saw Walter defend his United Kingdom Championship successfully against, it looked like the old Tommaso Ciampa was back. He finally shaved his head. He didn't have the whole bald spot thing going with like the.
He didn't look homeless.
Goofy, yeah, he didn't look
homeless.
He got rid of the camo pants and he went back to the trunks, which is basically like his championship run, because the whole thing in this match was like Walter was calling him soft. He's not the same Ciampa he was from 2017, 2018. And
you had a kid.
You had a kid. You're soft.
You had a kid, so you
can't protect the neck.
Can't be a champion anymore.
Yeah, but no, this match was great.
A lot of slapping.
You like that, Justin? You like a lot of slapping?
No, this was
yeah.
This was my match of the night for me.
Wow.
I really wanted it to be IO Raquel.
I really for a second.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, only for the night. Yeah, no, definitely not for both of it.
Yeah.
But no, I thought this match was fantastic. I really liked it. Every time I see Walter, he's always a treat every time.
Yeah.
And on the kickoff show, it felt like he alluded to possibly leaving NXT UK and possibly coming to NXT or main roster. I believe Samoa Joe asked him about his dominant run in the UK and about moving up, and he was like, "Oh, I never thought about it before, but when the timing is right, and stuff like that." So I think they have to have some type of plan for him.
He's held the belt for 2 years.
Yeah, just have him relinquish it and say, "Hey, I want to move on to."
I mean, it helps that they didn't defend it for a year with a pandemic, but
it wouldn't have mattered. He would have ran through them all.
Oh,
anyway.
Absolutely.
There was absolutely nobody in the UK that was going to take that belt off of him.
Did I pick Ciampa for this match? I think so, right?
Yeah. We'll get to the things after night 1, but
spoiler,
yes.
I didn't win.
No, you didn't.
Not even close.
Is that a shock to you?
No, not at all.
Okay. But we'll get to that after night 1. I kind of figured as a little break to get away from that. But yeah, no, you picked Ciampa, which was stupid.
I'm an idiot.
I mean, you could have tied Jesse. You could have tied Jesse if you picked Walter.
Missed it by that much.
Just by that much.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that was a great match. I'd love to see Walter come over. Honestly, imagine the possibilities. Walter, Gargano, Dunn, Kross, Balor, all the people in NXT. And then you go to the main roster. Walter, Roman Reigns, Walter, bring Brock Lesnar in, Lashley, Drew McIntyre. There's endless possibilities there. But great match. I would probably agree this was my match of the first night too. Like I said, I wish I could say it was the main event, but just didn't have enough time. Let's get to the tag teams now. We had the vacant tag team titles. MSK became tag team champions. That was cool to see. This match was a fun little sprint. A lot of high flyers on this match.
Flips.
A lot of flippy doos, yeah. A lot of flips, and I'm
I think
happy
we get
for MSK.
I think we get MSK versus Grizzly Young Vets one more time just because it is a good match. They could always just throw it together as a if they don't really know what to do necessarily.
It's possible, but first, Maverick and Dane on the kickoff show won the number one contender match, so that's coming up.
I don't watch kickoff shows.
Oh, okay. But it was good. This match was good. It did what it had to do. Triple threat matches, usually good with tag teams. Like you said, Justin, a lot of flips, but I'm happy for MSK.
I'm really happy that they let 3 people be in the ring at once. Because I hate that. There's 3 teams.
Yeah,
there's 3 teams, but anybody can tag in, and there's only 2 people in the ring. What is that?
Why don't
That's
2 teams?
Bad.
Why don't 2 teams just agree? Let's not tag in that team.
Yeah, exactly.
the idea is
or
like, oh,
just not go near that corner.
The turnbuckle at one point and tired, so you can tag them in. It's like, yeah, but then why would anybody be that stupid?
But it's also the same thing where it's like,
stay away from turnbuckles.
Why would one team willingly tag themselves out?
I know, it's stupid. It's very stupid. But
it makes no
sense.
Like
it's bad.
NXT is the only one that does it correctly. Main roster still does it the other way, I'm pretty sure.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
And I think there's a tag team match with the women's number one contender on Saturday, WrestleMania. We'll see how they do it there. If they'll have all 4 women in the ring at one time and do it like that.
But one other thing to note, the Gauntlet Eliminator. I've always thought that a gauntlet was when somebody loses, one person comes out. I prefer it this way. I'm fine with it this way.
This is almost a mini
I like
Royal
it
Rumble
better
almost,
this way.
Basic.
It was basically a mini Royal Rumble.
Which is pinfalls rather than over the top rope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I prefer that over you have to beat one person and then the next person comes out.
Those traditional gauntlet matches are so predictable. Like, all right, well, someone's going to come in and get eliminated right away. You know, one person's going to sit in the ring and dominate and eliminate, 2 people in a row. Like it always does that type of thing where it's like, all right, who's going to be the last person? Because in theory, they should win. So I kind of like this.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a smarter way to do it. Gave more like TV time to everyone too. It felt like it's hard to get on a takeover as it is, and gave them enough time. But tag team again, great match. Happy for MSK. I don't have anything else to say about this match either. Let's get into the main event, which got cut short, sadly, just because nothing they could do. A couple matches went long, like we said. The Gauntlet Eliminator went a little bit long. Maybe that did it. Other matches were also long as well, and you got to stay on time with the USA Network and the TV programming and all that. But Raquel Gonzales finally did it. Finally, we were talking about it since I feel like we started this podcast. Who's going to dethrone IO? And we finally got it. It's Raquel. It's time. It's her time finally. I'm very happy. I've been on this Raquel bandwagon for a year, ever since she debuted with Dakota Kai. So it feels good to.
And she got the best championship celebration on the show out of everyone who won it. Like, she got a lot of pyro and everything.
And everything.
Like, she got, like, they made it like.
I think they're gonna turn her face. I think they're gonna turn her
and have
face.
Dakota turn on her, maybe.
Something like that.
In reality, it should be the opposite,
turn her
where
face really quick.
She turned on Dakota. I would love that a lot more.
She doesn't need her anymore. Type
yeah,
of thing.
I think
they're treating her
even on night 2 when she was smiling and everything, and she's in a bunch of promos and stuff. They don't normally do that with heels and heel champions.
But they're treating her like
a turner.
And thankfully, though, they're treating her like a big deal already, and they weren't even out of the event yet, because, I was scrolling Twitter when I got home from work, and they had it's good to like good morning champ, and it was her smiling on ringside already, or something like some caption like that. So they're doing a good job at building her up and getting behind her.
Yeah, it's great. It's great because I know the NXT women's division is very stacked, but it's honestly, I never realized it, but it's very top heavy. I mean, not top heavy at all. The top is weak. It was basically just IO for the most part, and just defeating all these challengers, and no one really had like the star caliber yet. And it feels like both of you guys said, they're really doing a good job of already building up Raquel to be the next face of the NXT women's division. But I would love to see Raquel turn on Dakota as long as she stays heel, because having a big woman like that does not really work. It just feels
clunky then at times, because it's like they're a brute. They should just use their power, and you associate those with villain characters.
There you go. Exactly. But we've talked about this a couple times now. We got to bring it up again.
My thigh is cramping up. Ooh, that hurt a little bit.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good now. It went away.
Oh,
It's just the way I bent it. Like my quad just like tightened up. Sorry, I'm Aaron Judge with general soreness. I'll be out.
Oh, hey, hey, oh, yeah.
Oh.
He's very injury prone. Anyways, what is next for EO? That's the big
main
question.
roster.
Don't go to the main. No, don't. Don't do it.
I think she gets
What's left?
do it.
What's left in NXT?
She gets one more opportunity.
One
It
blow
doesn't
off match,
matter.
and then what?
Doesn't matter. Stay.
Going up.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Main need
Kyrie-
women.
Doesn't matter how good you are.
You're telling me
just
you
gonna get lost
wouldn't
in the
want to
shuffle.
see her come in, SmackDown after
and
Mania,
just lose a bunch.
and
Yeah,
put herself right in the title hunt.
Justin,
with Bianca
she
Belair.
can't
That would be
speak
awesome.
English. They don't care.
Vince is gonna
She
hate that.
can't
Vince
speak
is gonna
English.
hate that.
Neither can Asuka, to an extent.
Yeah, and
Asuka
Asuka's
included.
only champion because Charlotte and Becky aren't there.
And look at like Nakamura too, like how great he was, and Vince sees
Look
that
at
he only
Kairi
speaks-
Sane. Kairi Sane
Kairi
came
Sane.
up to the main roster as one of the hottest talents in the whole industry, and they did absolutely nothing with her until they gave her the belts with Asuka, and then they never defended them.
Yeah,
I think she moves up though. I
No,
think it's gonna happen.
I bet she does, and I think it's an absolute mistake, and they're gonna do it wrong.
All right, well, when she's
110%. I have
jumping
no
off the top of the
faith in it.
Thunderdome, don't come crying to me.
Yeah, and probably in
I love
like
how
the
that's
third match of
I love how
Raw.
that's such like a staple now of her matches, where it's like, all right, let's turn to the entranceway and see what she's jumping off of this
she
time.
jumps off of now.
And it's the same camera shot too.
It's
It's
so
like
funny. It's so funny.
it's almost cartoonish to an extent, a
That's-
little bit, right?
My
Like it's like
favorite is-
Wile E. Coyote-esque.
Yeah, my favorite is still when she put the garbage can over her head and
Jumped
just
off the
booked
stage.
it.
over.
She didn't know where she was jumping. She just jumped
Now do that off the cage, off the boat. Do it off the boat.
off the boat.
Yeah, do it off the boat.
Someone has to. jump
Io's
off
so
the boat.
good, and I know
Best
when she
wrestler in the
goes to the
world.
main roster, they're gonna do her so dirty. I already know it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with both of you. I want her to go up,
God.
but I don't because they're gonna ruin her. I agree with both of you guys on this take. But
Or they'll just have her go on like an undefeated run for like 200 days and then feed her to Charlotte.
there you go.
That'll probably be what actually
feed her to
happens.
Charlotte or a returning Becky. Just beat her. But hey, that's
One or
other for
the
night
other.
one. Well, before we get into night two, I want to get into our standings and the predictions. Like a nice little way to break it up. Jesse, of course, one night one. Nothing new there. It's just too good. He's just too good. What do you get? There you go. A little shoulder shrug, little Jordan shoulder shrug right there. Man, he
Also helps that it's competing against you and an idiot. So
I mean, yeah, you got a point. But then night two, Jesse won again.
boy, if
but-
only he only did this well in his sports betting. Oof. Maybe not
Hey,
take
I
the
do
Orioles-
average in
maybe not-
sports betting.
You take the Orioles covering a spread against the Yankees. You're an idiot for that.
I mean,
The spread was 3.5.
pretty big. It's pretty big.
Yeah. It's
How
still
did
the
you
Orioles.
guys not cover 3.5?
Congrats. It's the
Maybe if you
Orioles.
didn't let Stanton get a
Congrats,
grand
it's the
slam.
Orioles.
Whatever. No baseball. Back
But
to
the
wrestling.
second night, Jesse won again, but I also tied, so I got a point too. So, yeah, cementing my second place right now, which is fine.
How far in third am I?
Oh, well, Jesse has 6 pay-per-view wins out of 6 pay-per-views. I have 3.
Haven't lost
Yeah,
yet,
I have
baby.
3. So I tied him 3 of those 6. Half of those times I tied
Uh-huh.
him, and you got 1.
Oh, so I'm not that far
So you
behind
tied me once.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So Jesse honestly,
Yeah, but you're 5 behind me.
Jesse, yeah, you're 5. Jesse won outright twice. Of the other 4 times we tied him.
Huh.
Yeah, so that happened.
Okay.
Total points. Jesse has 29 correct matches. I have 25. Justin has 19. So that's that.
Okay.
And then we'll get to the ratings at the end. And that's all I have left on my sheet. But let's get to night number 2. And we start off very, very hot with a ladder match for the undisputed cruiserweight title. Escobar defeated Devlin. Right move right here. It made big fight feel with Escobar's attire, bringing back the lucha mask and all that. It was a really good match, very, very brutal, and this should send Devlin back to the UK, which is fine by me. He's cool, but the NXT audience who doesn't watch NXT UK doesn't see much of him, so it didn't really make sense for him to win this match. Great match though.
Wade Barrett said he didn't know him. Wade Barrett was like, I don't know this guy. No, this was a great match. It was really good.
Yeah, it really.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was very hard hitting. A lot of good ladder spots. The ending
NXT
spot
ladder
was
match.
great.
NXT ladder matches are always very good.
Oh, all the time. The one at New Orleans, the one at Takeover 25. There's a couple others that I'm missing, but hey, they're always good. The ending spot was great with Devlin going through the actual ladder, and then the whole end of the match too. Yeah, it looked like it hurt all right. A lot of hurt this night. A lot of painful stuff. But the ending of the whole match too on the stage, Santos Escobar and his kid, that was cool too, holding up one of the titles with him. Looks like they're making him like a little face there, but I guess his son was just in town for the match or something. So that was awesome. That was great to see that. And a nice little sentimental moment at the end. So I loved it. Let's get into probably the weakest match of the show. We had the NXT Women's Tag Team match. Shotzi and Ember defeated The Way. Once again, expected result from the show. We basically all had the same predictions for this show, except for Justin picked Devlin, you idiot. I forgot about that.
He said this is it. This is for the this is for the winner, the loss.
Oh yeah. I honestly like watching like the pre-show and all that. I'm like, man, Devlin has a chance. I have a feeling. I don't know why.
And with a chance, I have a chance. And with that, I lost.
And with that, you lost. But it's okay, buddy.
Screw it.
Yeah. Like I said, women's tag team match, probably the weakest match on the show. But what are you gonna do? It was okay. Shotzi took a hard hit into the wall. She missed that suicide dive and basically split both indies.
Did she miss or did they not catch her?
No, they didn't catch her. Because she split them.
Because she hit right on the mark. Yeah, she didn't come right on the mark there.
She didn't go left or right. She went just split them both, and that looked like it.
Yeah, I don't think that was Shotzi's fault.
No, I don't think so either. But it was okay. Good first defense. You can't just keep moving the titles around all the time. Solid defense. Nothing to say. I just don't know who they're gonna face next because they have to start building a couple more tag teams in NXT. Maybe throw Toni Storm with someone.
Have IO just do the tag team. Do Braun it. Just have her beat all the tag teams.
I'd rather that.
Keep her off the main roster a little while.
Yeah, that works. I don't care. Cool. That works though. We already talked about Gargano defeating Reed. Good match, very good match. Gargano matches don't disappoint on takeovers, but I love Johnny Gargano. That was great. And now we get to the NXT Championship match, which was Karrion Kross defending his title. Finn Balor defending his title against Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross won. But before the match, couple things of both of these guys' entrances. First, Karrion Kross came out in the gladiator gear, looked really, really cool. He was ready for a fight. Scarlett looked phenomenal as always. And then Finn Balor rubbing it in how good he is at takeovers and everything with all of his like takeover
his iconic moments.
Oh my god, that was just
when they held on the Finn with the demon, I'm like, ooh, he might pop out.
I said it. I was like, oh, are we getting demon?
And then he came out with the red X on his chest, so that was cool.
Yep.
Yes, you're right.
For nothing.
That red X on his chest, which was a symbol to when he got injured in his Universal title match. That's where he got injured. So that was like his battle scar. Yeah, the labrum. So that was a really cool touch, I thought too. Just adding more incentive to the fight, making him feel like, hey, I've been in your situation, Kross, before. I know what it feels like to give up the title and try to not really have the opportunity to go back at it. So that was great. Match was pretty good. A lot of near falls, a lot of finishers hitting, nothing, and a lot of kickouts. I thought it was great. You can't go wrong with Finn Balor matches too. He's one of the best, if not the greatest, NXT champion / competitor of all time. And at the end of the day, Kross won back the title that he never lost.
He made Kross look like an absolute monster.
Yeah,
we already knew Kross was a monster, but Finn just elevates everyone, to another level. And my God, Kross can just run through everybody now. I don't know who's going to stop him at any point. What do you think he holds the belt for? A little bit, and then he's going to be on main soon. I think he holds it till
August SummerSlam era. I can honestly see a hot babyface Kyle O'Reilly winning the title. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be a huge win for Kyle. Pete Dunne has been thrown into conversation now a little bit. There's a couple guys. Walter, there you go. I don't know what did happen with Cole, but we'll get to Cole and O'Reilly in a little bit. But man, that was good. That was good stuff. This
Very
match.
good.
Really, really good stuff.
Loved it.
Yeah. And like I said in the predictions, night 2 was going to blow night 1 out of the water, and it did. The matches were great. Yeah, matches were phenomenal. And now we have to get into the last match, which was just brutal in general. And once again, we're going to start with the entrances because each one of these men had a new entrance theme. I kind of figured it would happen for one of them, but not the other. So Kyle O'Reilly, he had his guitar theme, whatever. Kind of figured it'd be something.
Yeah, his generic rock type
fine. What are you going to do? That's fine. Adam Cole's theme. Didn't expect this one to change, but it's kind of like a remix of the Undisputed Era's theme a little bit.
Yeah, it had hints of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it wasn't entirely like it kind of makes you sound like, oh, okay. Well, because you kind of identify that era.
Kept yelling Cole.
Yeah. Cole.
But like you identified Cole with the era music.
Oh yeah.
Because that was basically his theme for his entire NXT run.
All theirs, yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you got to do? Themes change over time.
You're gonna have a brutal as hell match, though. That's what you're gonna do.
There you go. Brutal indeed. It was just the storytelling, fantastic. The moves, fantastic. The amount of brutality was fantastic. Just all of it combined, and knowing these guys' backstory and history, just seeing it on display in front of everyone on a takeover above all things was just really, really good. But I want to get your thoughts on what you guys thought about it in general, or break down any of the spots you guys want to break down. So go ahead.
Going through the entrance walkway,
fun. Even funnier, Cole breaking the side of it to drag
to get
O'Reilly
out
through.
Yes.
That was good. The chair spots with the Undisputed Era. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic
Yeah.
stuff.
The chain, pulling the chain up and catching him so he fell.
Oh, that was good. Cool. You're right. That was good.
I hadn't seen that before.
The chain around the knee too was good. The suplexes on the stairs and the suplexes on the tables were brutal because we know that whole rumor with.
Oh my God, the suplex on the table and it didn't break.
On the stairs, everything they did there too.
Yeah, the stairs, and that was what was the rumor that O'Reilly had a seizure. Yeah, and they went back and did the same move on the stairs. But no, the table was brutal that it didn't break. It was just hard.
And you can tell when they tighten the screws to when they don't.
Yeah.
Because that was intentionally tightened together.
Hard. Very
tightened.
hard.
Yep.
But no, brutal stuff. The wrenches, the tire irons, everything.
Just
involved.
Everything.
The hits in the nuts were brutal. Like
unsanctioned matches are awesome when they let him just go absolutely nuts
when
with it.
Not
I love that the referee
just wears a black t-shirt.
He didn't have NXT. He just wore a black t-shirt. He didn't have
t-shirt.
Yeah,
and he got just a guy in the face.
He's just a guy.
Yeah, that was awesome when they were counting and Cole thought
that was
one, and then they just
Cole
pan over.
Cole tried to pin him almost immediately after he knocked out the ref.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what? What's wrong with you?
And the fans chanting.
And then they just started throwing stuff at each other, like when they were by like the timekeepers area. Like Kyle O'Reilly threw like just something at him.
There was it was like a TV monitor right to the head.
They just chucked it at him.
Oh my God, that was like a 32-inch TV.
Yeah, it's like the
smashed in his face.
Yeah. Headshots. He threw a chair was thrown at the head too. I'm like, oh wow, headshots are back.
When two people trust each other in the ring, they can just go absolutely nuts with it, and that's what they did. And that's why this was my match of the night of the whole match of the event of both nights.
Me too.
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
You said, Justin, these guys, storyline aside, great friends in real life. When you have the trust and the skills and the storytelling knowledge to be able to do stuff like this, it's just gold on the screen. And at the end of the day, we all predicted it. Kyle O'Reilly did indeed win this match. Moving up Adam Cole to the main roster, ? I think it's a very, very good chance he gets. I feel like the whole Undisputed Era chapter is officially now finally closed. And I just don't. Now more than ever, they did literally everything with Cole that they could. They had him debut, they had him add a guy to the stable, they won all the titles, they lost the titles, they turned on each other. You went through all the stages of the Undisputed Era, so I just don't honestly see him staying around. I really don't. They have enough star power down there to carry NXT without Cole there.
And this puts Kyle O'Reilly to where he's a main eventer. Simple as that.
Main
Simple
spot
as
on
that.
the card. Yep, main spot. He's a main event player now. He's no more tag team guy. Main event player. Bob Fish is getting old. Roderick Strong's just going to float around, which is fine. Main event player and Kyle O'Reilly
I loved this show. It was so good. I know we say it all the time that, it's I always say this is the best one of the quarantine era or the Capital Wrestling Center, but honestly, this was probably the best one. My rating, probably
let's get to the ratings.
9.5, just because the Raquel match with IO got cut short.
That's a high rating. Wow.
I'm not going that high.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm giving it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
I'm giving it an 8.5. The IO Raquel really.
Yeah.
If we were going strictly like night 1 and then night 2, like night 1 would probably get like a 6, and then night 2 would be like a 10. So 8.5
with WrestleMania
is right in there.
Yeah, with WrestleMania, I don't know. I might separate it, but for Takeover, I just put it as 1 for now. But hey, that's definitely by far our highest rated show. But I'll try to do the math quick while I do the outro. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. I appreciate it. They appreciate it. Everyone's appreciate it. Follow us on our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. WrestleMania is here. WrestleMania content is out now. We'll be reviewing WrestleMania. So stay tuned to all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode.